Thank you, Ajay ji. Thank you, Neerja ji. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora. You people have done an amazing job in keeping the discussion around the genocide of Kashmiri Pandits in 1990 and thereof. I am nobody. I am really humbled that you invite me to speak on this. This Martyrs' Day to me means many things. I would like to talk in three parts. First, I want to tell you where I was and where I am today. Then I would like to tell you where I want to go from here. And third is how all of us can make one journey together so that we can really repent for, or we can pay back for every drop of blood that has flown in the valley of Kashmir by Islamic terrorism. Though I was very politically and socially aware, and every forum I say this, still I had no idea, absolutely no idea about the intensity of this genocide. In fact, I didn't even know that it was a genocide. I thought, yes, there were problems, there was terrorism, and thousands of Kashmiri brothers and sisters had to leave home. I had empathy for them like anybody else. But I was totally oblivious or unaware of the fact that for 30 years, nobody helped in building a narrative or creating an awareness about this gravest tragedy since the independence. It was 2.5 years back, I don't exactly remember. It was in Houston. I met Shri Surinder Kapoor ji. Oh, sorry, Surinder Kaul ji. I'm sorry, maaf kariyega. Shri Surinder Kaul ji. And he said, Vivek ji, why don't you make one documentary or some series on our problem? I said, but then how do you plan to do it? He said, we people will donate some money, make something, some documentary or something. I said, but Surinder ji, who watches these documentaries? You know, you will see it amongst yourself, nobody. He said, Vivek ji, if you don't make it, then nobody else will make it. And this is our only chance because our children now are turning teenagers. A new generation of Indians are turning voters. And they have no idea about what happened. The Holocaust, around the Holocaust, there has been an entire machinery and institutions, almost the entire entertainment industry, literature industry, media industry, political industry, all kinds of diplomatic industry went around talking about Holocaust. I said, okay, we'll see. When I was traveling back on the flight back to India, I kept thinking about it. And the words which haunted me, that Vivek ji, if you don't make it, who else will make it? It gave me two messages. Message number one, that in 30 years, nobody made an attempt to tell this story with utmost honesty and sincerity. He also told me, Surinder ji, that he has met lots of people who promise but then turn away and run away and don't do anything about it. So I started thinking about it and I did some research. What are the films, documentaries which are made on this issue? And the first film which came to my mind was Haider, which was made by a very, very able, a great award-winning filmmaker, a highly respected, intellectual thinking filmmaker, Shri Vishal Bharadwaj ji. The film was based on the book of Bashrat Peer. But as a filmmaker, he claimed that he did a lot of research and he has done justice to that period of terrorism in Kashmir. But I was aghast that this film takes place in the period of 90s. But not even one scene he mentions what happened to Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus. In fact, he has tried to justify terrorists and denounce Indian army. And very cleverly, that film has installed or instilled coding, as we talk in psychology, or messages at a very subconscious level, so that when my son, 17-year-old son, watches that movie, he sees one hero of the film, he goes to Marthan temple, the Sun temple, and he sings a song, Bismillah, Bismillah. But the reverse is not true. Similarly, nowhere in the film they talk about this. They have not whitewashed, they have deleted this history forever from the cinema. Cinema, which can work as the greatest soft power in the world. If Holocaust is alive today, it's due to cinema. Hollywood has worked as the brand ambassador and the soft power or the storyteller of the Holocaust of Jews. Why Indian filmmakers fail to do that? Why our writers fail to do that? Then came a second chance when they made a film called Shikara. Please trust me, I speak from my heart. I am a upasak of Saraswati. I have no malice for anybody. I am just talking about the principles. That film had such great opportunity because it was based on a wonderful book written by Shri Rahul Pandita, and Rahul Pandita ji was the writer of that film. But they also whitewashed the whole thing and they said, chalo jo hua hua bhul jao. No, I do not agree with that. So when I realized that it is very important to tell this part of the story, my reason was this. The politicians very smartly, very cleverly, all kinds of politicians and media have very cleverly played a scam on Kashmiri Pandits. And the scam was this. They always tried to localize it. They always tried to convey as if this was a problem of Kashmiris in Kashmir. And it wasn't an Indian problem. Thousands, tens of thousands of Kashmiri Brahmin Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus getting dislocated, the exodus, the killings and the rapes and the genocide and the burning of the homes wasn't an attack of Hindu civilization, wasn't an attack of India. It was attack on a community. We always kept saying Kashmiri Pandit community, 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 and for 30 years people like Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri, who are so socially and politically aware, who know so much about Kashmiri intellectual knowledge and the entire literature, even people like me became cold, became numb towards it, and I thought it's a community problem. And that's when I decided that I will achieve two things with the work I am doing. In fact, three things. Number one, what Government of India failed to do is forming a tribunal, and like for Holocaust, they did war crime testimonials on camera. I will go and within my resources, whatever I can do within my limited resources, I'll go door to door and I will do these testimonial recording on camera. And which is why a lot of people said, we will come, you make a studio, we'll come from Delhi, from Jammu. I said, no, I'll go to each and every house. I tried to do this in US, UK, Jammu, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Kashmir, wherever. Singapore, I was planning to go to Australia and New Zealand, but then Corona crisis came. Second thing I said, I will ensure with my work that the entire world recognizes it as a genocide. Unless we recognize it as a genocide, the gravity and the intensity of Islamic terrorism to destroy Hindu civilization, because Kashmir is the Silicon Valley, is the temple, the mind, the forehead of Hindu civilization. You destroy Kashmir and you destroy Hindu civilization. The great art of musicology, philosophy, yoga, Ayurveda, the science of theatre, Natya Shastra, surgery. Look at the beauty of medical science which evolved in Kashmir, in Kashmir Valley. While the modern medical science knows about human body by cutting dead bodies, it is based on dead bodies. Whatever knowledge the Western medical science has is by cutting dead bodies. In Kashmir, we understood human body, live body, alive body, not the dead body without cutting it. This is the difference. And which is why Kashmir was invaded by Islamists in the 13th, 14th century. Nobody loots and invades a poor village. Like my friend Rakesh Kaulji says, this was the Silicon Valley of the first millennium. So I said I have two challenges. Number one, to make the world realize and understand that Kashmir was the Silicon Valley and it is the cultural apex center of Hindu culture and Hindu civilization. This every single Indian has to realize and understand. I have taken this challenge upon myself, and I promise all my friends here that our film will ensure that whoever sees it knows that what is the cultural and intellectual and academic importance of Kashmir, and why it is the duty of every single Indian to protect, preserve and promote the Kashmiri culture. Second, the world has to understand, like everybody knows about Nalanda, how Nalanda was burned for months and months and the Indian intellectual wealth was destroyed. They have to understand that how this genocide by Islamic terrorists, a cold-blooded, well-designed, strategic war against Indian civilization took place in Kashmir. And the third, how we whitewashed it, how we kept a hidden secret, how we left the responsibility of amplifying this tragedy to the world only to the community. It's like it happens in many places. I see in this corona crisis, some patients who are suffering from this, when they go to hospital, they are thrown out from this Maharashtra government's doctors, and they say, it's your problem, you deal with it, we don't care. This apathy, this indifference has made a deep impact on me. And when I met people, when I heard stories of somebody present here, Ajay ji knows how tears were rolling in my eyes, from my eyes and Pallavi's eyes and my crew. Neerja ji knows in her house how we have cried. We were not crying. We have heard millions of stories about murders and deaths and rapes and lootings. We were crying because of our own failure to know, to be aware of this. And I think it's a collective failure of every writer, painter, filmmaker, creative person who failed to tell this story to the world, because this is not a story of Kashmir alone. Today, all of us benefit from yoga, all of us benefit from Shaivism, all of us benefit from Natya Shastra, especially the film people and theatre people owe it to Natya Shastra whatever we are today. To Abhinav Gupta, we owe it to him. We owe it to musicology which was invented over there. The great Kalidasa. So it's a collective failure. I said, I'll pay back for it. ये ऋण मुझे उतारना है और मुझ पे सरस्वती का आशीर्वाद है. मैं सरस्वती की उपासना करता हूँ. And some inner conscious, my voice told me, inner voice, that I have to do this job. And last 2.5 years, this is all I am doing. We were all set to shoot this film We were leaving on the 15th of March. In fact, we wasted a lot of money in tickets and all. All the money went down the drain. But then 18th say this thing lockdown started and we had to postpone the shooting. But now we are shooting it in the month of December and January. And this was blessing in disguise. Again, I would say this was Saraswati's blessings. That film got postponed. Because this crisis has given me a new dimension to my thinking, to my emotions, to my understanding of the world. Today when we are locked down, where you have nowhere to go and there is darkness all around and you don't know what the future holds, all your prospects are down. The entire film industry is shut and there is no earning of a 1 rupee for anyone. You don't even know if cinema halls will open, when will they open, what will happen. It gave me an emotional understanding to certain degree of how you guys must have felt or your parents must have felt when they were thrown out and they were sitting in those tents of Jammu and there was darkness all around and they didn't know what lies ahead. If I had made this film, started this film on the 15th of March, as we had planned before Corona, I would have made an intellectual film because I had understood the problem intellectually, not actually. But now I felt it to a degree. The film which I'll make in December will be a film from the heart, not from the mind. And therefore I say it was a good thing. Whatever money got wasted was worth it. In the end, all I want to say is that on this Martyrs' Day, all of you should appeal to every single Indian that this is not a Kashmiri problem. This is a Hindu civilization's problem. This is the problem of every single Indian, of every single state. This is the problem of the new generation, all the millennials and Generation Z, boys and girls. Because what kind of world they are going to grow up in, or their children are going to grow up in, we cannot let it continue. 30 years have gone by. I don't want my children to say nobody cared. Therefore, one film is not enough. Hundreds of films are required. Hundreds of books are required so that 10 years later, the whole world recognizes that this was indeed a genocide and this humanity learns a lesson that never ever do we allow, be it Islamic terrorism or any kind of terrorism, to do this to any other human being. This is our duty. For me, it's not a film. For me, it's a mission. As I have said it many times, I'm making a film. I'm making a web series based on all the interviews I've done. I'm writing a book. I give lots of lectures on Kashmiri issue, on the culture, greatness of Kashmiri culture. Whatever I keep learning, I share. I write about it. I do social media posts. I write articles on it. This has just begun. We will together take it to a logical end. That will be the biggest tribute and Shraddhanjali to Shri Tika Lal Tapluji and all the martyrs like Ajay ji's family, all the martyrs, everybody who gave their lives. I think this will be our Shraddhanjali. In the end, I appeal to all the young boys and girls, especially of the global diaspora, take an oath that till the time this world does not recognize it as a genocide of Islamic terrorism against the community, you will write one social media post every single night before you sleep, like people do prayer or you do eat chocolate as a routine or whatever you do. Write one post on the greatness of Kashmiri culture and civilization, whatever it is. If you know nothing, write about the rajma your mom made, write about your mother, write about your father, but write something greatness about Kashmiri culture and history, because in the modern digital world, algorithm is the new god. Fill this entire universe of internet with Kashmiri stories so that algorithm also decides to tell your story to the world. That will be the real victory. That will be the real narrative building in the modern world. I will do whatever I can. You also join me. Make my mission stronger. On this note, thank you again. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.